will happen a lot on messaging platforms. People were asking for appointments, people were asking for opening hours, people were asking about their loan status, etc. We use AI to automate and reduce the burden on the customer service teams. Launch these AI agents on their websites. We immediately saw the number of calls to their contact centers drop, and the needle is not moving in terms of customer service. We believe that AI is ideally suited to solve this really big problem.
Hello, welcome everyone to the next episode of the A Media House podcast Simulated Reality. Today we have with us the founder and CEO of Yellow.ai, Raghu Ravinutala. Raghu, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Kashyap. Great to be here.
Yeah.
Excited to be part of this.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to your office, and no other place to discuss AI better than in the Bay Area.
Absolutely.
Well, let's start at as I mentioned, I've been following your work for a while now. Yellow.ai, while it started as a niche AI startup, it has scaled into a 500 plus people company. You're doing fantastic. Why Yellow?
Yes, one of the reasons is we want to make people ask this question. Brand is more remembered when it is quirky, but there's also a deeper reason for it. When we started the company, we aspired to change how consumers connect with businesses, and and now they are connecting with AI. So that's the genesis of the name, and it turned out that it is quite memorable for folks. It's comes out as really cool in the world of enterprise software filled with blue in general. So pretty excited about the brand we have created with this name.
Yeah, and I think so from Yellow Pages to Yellow.ai, right? Walk us through a little bit of the journey in terms of the thought process. I'm sure your product has evolved over a period of time. Change is the only constant, and with AI, change is happening probably every 2 weeks.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Why did you want to solve the customer centricity problem? I'm sure there was this epiphany of, I can solve this using AI. So I want to walk through that.
Absolutely. Genesis was essentially looking at, I grew up in India, and this company started in Bangalore, and anyone who has lived in India over like 2010, 2015, one thing that everybody would have used is WhatsApp. It was so ubiquitous and had unprecedented adoption. And we felt that the future of consumer business communication will happen a lot on messaging platforms. If people were messaging so frequently with friends, they would want to use the same medium to connect with businesses and make it easier. So that was the genesis of the company, and then we launched an application that helped consumers message with businesses. And without much of marketing, it just took off. A lot of people started using it, connecting to message businesses. And then we said, a lot of these interactions are very, very similar. People were asking for appointments, people were asking for opening hours, people were asking about their loan status, etc. Then we figured, why don't we use AI to automate and reduce the burden on the customer service teams. And then we were very fortunate to work with some pioneering customers in India, man. India has some of the most risk-taking customers who, like, we work with Asian Paints, we work with Bajaj Finance. So all these were our initial customers. And when they launched these AI agents on their websites, they immediately saw the number of calls to their contact centers drop, higher conversion on their loan books, getting more appointments at Asian Paints. So that was like a product market fit. And then we started evolving the product to not just provide information, but to enable transactions, move from chat to voice, and machine learning to large language models currently. So that's been the evolution of the technology.
Fantastic. And what are some of the key drivers in terms of opportunities that these large enterprises are looking, especially when it comes to their customer strategy, right? And what does it exactly mean for Yellow.ai to enable an AI first approach uh, towards customer success?
That's a brilliant question. I think the problem of the industry is indicated in some really large numbers. Globally, every year there is close to $1 trillion of customer service spent across companies. $1 trillion. Um, and if most likely, if you're asking anyone, even with that spend, people are on holding on hold over customer support calls. They are not getting answers really fast. So it's a really big problem where a lot of spending is happening, and the needle is not moving in terms of customer service. We believe that AI is ideally suited to solve this really big problem, because if you imagine what is the largest or application AI application with the most traction, it's ChatGPT. People like that chat interactive interface, and companies providing that automated interface, you're providing great delight to end customers. They're getting answers, questions, things resolved really fast, and you're reducing your cost of operating your customer service. And typically companies are spending a lot on outsourcing this customer service as well. So it's not like they are taking away jobs from their payrolls. Of course, there are going to be jobs that are changed everywhere. It's not giving companies the political hurdle of doing this cost reduction. So it's a combination of all the three that are coming together to drive this adoption.
Well, it's funny you say that, people have to, people hate being on hold, press 1, press 3,
Yeah.
press 5, and be on hold. I was with my cousin the other day. I stay with him in the Bay Area, and I had something to speak with the customer online, right? And they put an AI agent
Yeah.
through, and the thing is, he was trying to speak to the AI, and they tried to read it and try to reply. And then he was like, "Man, I miss the days when the music played instead of this AI, because the AI was not understanding him." So I do believe that the future is AI, and in terms of it's going to automate a lot of things, it will be much beneficial to be more AI centric rather than waiting on hold to some random tunes. But we are still yet to be there, right? And what is your thought in terms of when will we be there? But it's too much of a broader question. But to a point where you can completely depend on an AI chatbot which can speak or at the same time chat with you online. And what are some of your thoughts in terms of when will we get there?
Yeah. So I always take a analogy of a Tesla. I drive a Tesla, and I use auto steer, FSD to some extent. And when all this auto driving started, it started off with just a lane control where you're cruising along a lane. The automation was not able to help change lanes, etc. But it was still useful, right? Because people had this driving load come off, this auto steer going for a long time, and now we are getting very close to end-to-end self-driving. So the journey of automation of customer service has a lot of analogy with that, where it started off with providing information, and whenever there is a complex query, you pass it on to humans. Move to helping enable transactions, but it was not empathetic. And with generative AI now, the responses and the interactions are a lot more empathetic. They cover a lot more depth and breadth as well. In the future, I think this will continue to get to an extent where it becomes fully autonomous, where AI can help make decisions, reason with the customers, demonstrate human-like empathy. Its journey, we are not yet there, but with the current technology, you can still go ahead and automate 60 to 80% of customer service interactions. For a 60 to 80% of the customer service queries, you can have phenomenal satisfaction rates, because what it covers for the lack of depth of emotions and empathy in conversations, it covers it with the speed and accuracy. You call a contact center, you want to get a thing done, you want to just reschedule. You don't want to say, hey, how's the weather going? And my name is K for whatever, and all that stuff. So you can get it done in 2 minutes. But if you're worried about COVID protocols, you're worried about some serious issues that you want to talk empathetically humans, AI is not yet there. It doesn't convey that feeling yet to the customers, and that's when humans are needed. But like 60 to 80% of the tasks, it can do phenomenally well than humans.
Yeah, you did mention that AI is a little bit more empathetic. In fact, I was seeing a demo of one of the company's products on a call center where the AI is able to detect whether the emotion of a person to an extent, whether they are a little worried and concerned about certain answers that the AI is giving based on the data that it is pulling. Fundamentally, however, AI is mathematics, right? Mathematical models.
Yes.
To be fair, when it comes to kind of understanding, let's say, sarcasm or some of the emotions that are there, which are human emotions, which are very complex, we still have a long way to go. While it is able to detect through a few words whether the person is concerned or sad or happy, there's a long way to go before it is able to have cognition as good as humans to be able to have that dialogue. What needs to change? What is that crux? What is that research? What is that innovation that is needed to enable these mathematical models to be able to do that? And what is Yellow.ai doing to kind of work towards that direction?
That's a really brilliant question. And if you see the large language models currently, they're solving just one problem mathematically. Is they're predicting the next best word from all the training of the language that they have, right? Which by itself is not recognizing emotions or things like that. So it is kind of correlating for the given context what is the next best word. But what is also coming together is models around large vision models, where you're combining this large language with all the vision data. So you're monitoring, like, potentially in this use cases of human interaction, facial expressions and the person in general. But at the same time, we need to be clear what kind of company we are. We are not a company that is focusing on, hey, how AI can be human-like in all possible ways. We are a company solving problem of customer service, and how best we can solve in that narrow domain is what we work on. For example, we don't need to really work on how AI need to respond for a love note, right? I mean, I'm just saying, we are not, but there are AI softwares that are specifically focused on that. There's AI software that are helping in mental health, assuaging the user, providing mental support. We are not that company. We are a company that are focused on, hey, how fast we can get the customer problems resolved, how fast and better we can kind of communicate when there is a problem with the company, etc. And now the data set becomes much more narrower, where there are historical conversations that we can train on and have our system do the best possible conversation in a customer service context.
Customer service or hospitality as a profession, it's always very easier when things are going your way, right? It's when the customer is really unhappy, right, or dissatisfied. For that, probably you will need to explore beyond just the speed, right? Like you will also need to explore a little bit of that empathy side and
Empathy, even I'm not saying we should not explore empathy, but what I'm saying is that the whole range of emotions that you need to train a model for is very focused on a customer service use case, where
the
problem statement is very narrower, and the data for kind of training that is already available because people are already responding, and you can understand from that data on what needs to be the right response and right interaction versus solving the emotion problem as a whole. Hey, how do I react to a tragic thing, or how do I react to a romantic proposal, or I'm just saying, right? You don't need to solve all that.
The
emotions are like wide range, but just imagine what customer service agents are getting trained for at this point of time. You need to basically make sure the AI agents for customer service are trained to respond, significantly better than what humans are doing currently, because they have a lot more data. But we as a company are not in the in the space of solving how how well computers can emotionally react to humans, but we are like in the space of solving for how best we can respond in a customer service environment.
Yeah, when it comes to AI first approaches, right, some of the use cases are very common, right? Like resolving tickets or trying to identify the root cause, pulling up data, and some of this things. Can you tell me a really cool use case that Yellow.ai has come up with, or in general that is there, which is a little out of the box? Or if not, then maybe can you tell me a little bit, can you tell me an anecdote where, AI really saved the day for you?
Yeah, I think multiple thing. There are a lot of the serious use cases of customer service, but one of the things I really liked, and people loved from day one. It was one of our initial customers. It's a large beverage maker. I think I can name the company. It's Diageo, and they launched a bartender assistant with Yellow, right? Essentially, people can interact with Simi, which was a bartender, talk about the ingredients they have at their home, they have at their disposal, and gives cocktail recipes. And the cool part is that based on the interactions, the company was able to realize that a southern part of the country preferred spicier cocktails versus the northern part of the country preferred more sweeter cocktails.
Oh, so they started
learning from that. And the way that they advertise their brand, they talk about their brand, and what they promote kind of is different in those different regions, which they never get that consumer data. But it was a use case that got a ton of customers for us, because everyone's, oh wow, this is like really nice and quirky and nice. So that's one of the funnier, I would say, nice, cooler use cases. But the most serious ones, we have a customer in the US called Feral Gas, and they provide propane delivery during winters for heating, etc. Their order volumes are quite elastic, right? As you can imagine, you will not have a lot of gas deliveries in potentially summer versus winter is the peak season. You cannot staff the contact center so elastically. Hey, suddenly I want to hire thousands of people just for December and Jan, and reduce the number of people rest of the season. So they employed Yellow.ai as a AI assistant. Now they don't miss any single order because they're taking orders through a AI assistant that's completely elastic, and this drove up their volume of orders, volume of fulfillments, which is a direct impact on revenue.
What is the future of customer service looks like in the AI. I'm not asking, I'm not asking for predictions in the sense, but like what are some of the immediate advancements that you guys are working on or you are seeing other companies working on that will, change the way customers kind of interact with companies? And at the same time, how do you kind of see the role of companies like Yellow.ai evolving over a period of time to help enterprises,
Yeah,
enable customer service?
I have very strong viewpoints on this. The history of enterprise software and customer service software has been on the premise that humans are providing one-on-one customer support, and that's why there are tickets. You go one by one on the tickets, and you talk to the customer, resolve their queries. So all the softwares are designed with that premise. But what has changed with companies like Yellow.ai is software is not just storing customer information to help humans provide support, but the software itself is managing the relationship and customer support. Then ideally, the support that is support agents are not handling customers one on one, but they're handling the customer agents 1:100 or 1:1000, because they just need to monitor a lot of interactions happening, jump into the interaction where it's not going really well, or train the AI versus their core job being, handling calls one by one on, hey, what's your reschedule, what's the ticket status, answering that. So that just fundamentally changes what an enterprise software stack should look like. And we always say that if there is a CRM that's designed in the AI world, that would look like Hello AI, what we are developing, right? It is a software that is managing, customer relationship. So we believe that it will evolve in that direction, and that propels our ambition and aspiration that we become the core customer service suite for enterprises, and replace the historical service clouds and CRMs that have been there for support, because they have been designed for a completely different world than what we are living in.
Yeah. My final question to you is in terms of overall the job landscape, right? What are some of the implications of the kind of technology that is being built by Yellow AI as well as other data science, AI service providers or product companies? And I'm sure there is job displacement. Automation has
For
always
sure.
made
For
job
sure.
displacement, but at the same time, it has always created newer
Yeah.
jobs which are more intelligent. What is your overall viewpoint on the future of
Yeah.
the job landscape and approaching it responsibly?
Absolutely. So, one thing is for sure is that the the way the customer service agents, I mean, that's the industry that we are working on, and direct 20 million plus customer service agents that are employed by companies. I think they will see a significant growth in their careers. On the contrary of what people are thinking, that they're just going to be eliminated. Right? Here are two reasons that I feel that's going to happen. One, if you see any company's customer support site where they list the toll-free number or way to contact them, it's somewhere hidden in some fold, because companies don't want you to contact them because it's very expensive for them to support customers, right? I mean, it's not easy to get to a contact number. But companies are also losing opportunity to interact with their customers. I mean, if I'm a company, I want to talk to my customers more, retain them, but it's expensive. So what AI is changing is that it's making that cost really low to manage engagement or interaction with the customer. So now companies can go ahead and say, hey, call us anytime. We are here. We want to increase our engagement rate. So instead of having 1 million calls per year, if the cost is really low, they can have 10 million calls per year. So which means that overall volume of engagement, I believe, will increase with AI. And the agents will transform from handling one-on-one customer support to more like these AI system managers. where instead of handling 100 customers per day, they're probably handling 10,000 customers per day. But their job is more about how do we train the AI system, how do we track it, how do we audit it, how do we monitor it, and how do I enter into the interactions that are not going great, that need my need my intervention and things like that. So the job will evolve from a customer service agent to a AI system manager, AI customer service manager, handling from 100 clients to probably 10,000 clients. So that's the uplift for them, and it's uplift for the companies. They're
Yeah.
more available for customers. It's great for consumers. We don't need to wait on the phones.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you made an important point is that we should not lose that human touch as well, like
Absolutely.
wherever it's necessary, this thing. On that note, thank you so much. It was a great talking to you. There's a lot of perspectives from various industry experts on this subject, and it was great to hear your thoughts on it.
Awesome, fantastic talking to you, Kashyap, and great questions. So, love the interaction.